Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Welcome to the SSNA Ovens and Murray Football Netball League 2023 Hall of Fame. Again, it is indeed a privilege and an honour to be a part of tonight's proceedings. My name is Graham Patterson and I'm your host for the function. Tonight is the 17th Hall of Fame. It is a significant event in the league's history as we honour some of those who have made an outstanding contribution in either football and or netball. We believe it is vitally important to acknowledge those who have come before and established the standards and the benchmarks for the future. We have 5 inductees tonight and 1 former inductee who is being elevated to the status of legend, and he becomes the 7th legend in our Hall of Fame. What I'd like to do now is to officially welcome some of our special guests. Acting Chairman of the SSNA Ovens and Murray League at the moment is Jamie Ramage and his lovely wife Jodie, so welcome Jamie. We also have Des Lonigan, one of the directors. Mick Wilson from AFL is here, managing the Murray Bushrangers. It's terrific to see Rod Malavi here, who was the inaugural Hall of Fame Chairman, so welcome Rod and your wife. Kim Oderman and Fred Longmire, who are also former league directors. We have apologies from David Sinclair, the chairman, who's currently overseas, Greg Claney, former O&M chairman, who is unwell at the moment, Benny Hollins from Other Birds Media, Mick Blomley and Alicia Marotta from McRae Motors, Fiona Harmiston from Go TAFE, Noel Long from Yarrawonga, Shane Watson from New Balance Belgravia Apparel, Dean Stone CUB, Ian Kay from Droid Insurance at Risk, Robbie Allen from Road Safe North East, and then Kenny Jasper, David Kifford, Gavin Cato, David Morris, Alison Butler and Tamara Matthews. It would be remiss of us not to mention our sponsors and business partners. Fantastic to see Eddie Dunlop and CEO Gerard Darmody here, along with directors Mark Dendo, Murray Escroft, Mark Lamar and Colin Darts from the SSNA Club. And whilst it's a little bit out of order, I want to congratulate Mark Lamar on being elevated to the Albury Wodonga Football Association Hall of Fame a couple of weeks ago. So we do acknowledge our other sports, so well done Mark. 1494 2A Rye, represented by General Manager Andrew Harrison and Sales Manager Daniel Ferguson. Premier Data, represented by Managing Director Tony Pacello. We don't do too much without involvement with our media, and we're blessed that we're really well supported by both print and electronic media. So the Border Mail, Wangaratta Chronicle, Yarrawonga Chronicle, Corowa Free Press, Middleford Times, Southern Cross Austereo, 1494 2AY, Oak FM, 107.3 and ABC Golden Murray. Ladies and gentlemen, could I now draw your attention to the signage around, the murals around the side of the room, and as far as I know, all of these people are attending, as I mentioned, them former inductees with just outstanding contributions. 2005, Jimmy Sandrell, 2009, Dennis Sandrell, 2010, Emmy DeFazio, 2012, Rod Coelho, 2013, Peter Tussell, and I think Johnny Martinello was coming, I'm not sure whether John's invited or not. 2014, Jimmy Scott, 2015, the beautiful Lindy Singleton is here. 2018, Darryl Spencer and Travis Hodson, and 2022, Robert Tate. So please put your hand together for all of those inductees in attendance tonight. It gives me great pleasure now to introduce to you the acting chairman of the SSNA Ovens and Murray Football Netball League, Mr. Jamie Ramage. Please welcome Jamie.
Thanks, Graham. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the SSNA Ovens and Murray Football Netball League Board, I'm delighted to welcome you here to the 17th Hall of Fame dinner. It's great to be able to continue the tradition of the Hall of Fame after the challenges of COVID. Tonight is a time for us to reflect on the wonderful history of our competition and celebrate the achievements of 5 new inductees and 1 legend. With 86 inductees and 6 legends prior to tonight, the Ovens and Murray League Hall of Fame remains an elite group that has given outstanding service and significant contributions to the league. The Ovens and Murray Hall of Fame night is renowned as one of the pre-eminent football functions in regional Victoria and southern New South Wales and the end of many leagues. This is due largely to the hard work of our Hall of Fame committee, chaired by Mr Ron Montgomery, and the standard was set at the inaugural event in 2005 under the committee chair, Rod Momarvin. The Hall of Fame induction remains the pinnacle of the Ovens and Murray League recognition. Our thanks go to Ron and his committee for the work they do researching the inductees and organising what will be, again, a wonderful evening. As well, we give thanks to our General Manager, Kane Arendasius, Operations Manager, Michael Bouquet, and host, Graham Patterson, for their efforts. Our relationship with the SSNA as our naming rights sponsor continues to be mutually beneficial, as do our relationships with all our stakeholders and business partners, who are already being mentioned. Again, thank you all. It would be remiss of me not to also acknowledge the various electronic and print media who provide outstanding coverage to all our club administrators and volunteers, including our umpires. We wish all clubs the best over the final rounds as we build towards the finals for 2023, with 9 of our 10 clubs currently in finals positions. As a football netball community and from a board perspective, we continue to work with Cora Rutherglen and hope to see them back fielding all teams in the Ovens and Murray League in 2024 and beyond. The current board of the league is conscious of the huge responsibility it has inherited in the administration of the competition, part of which is the continued preservation and celebration of the Ovens and Murray incredible history. Congratulations to all the inductees. Please enjoy the evening and thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. It's my pleasure now to call on the Chairman of the Hall of Fame Committee, Mr Ron Montgomery. Ron?
Thank you, Graham. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, pleasure to be here tonight with all these people who are here for a focus on what we do and what we achieve for the great achievers of our competition. Tonight we come together for the 17th running of the Ovens and Murray Football Netball League Hall of Fame, where another 5 people will go into our hall, as well as another great Ovens and Murray champion being upgraded to a legend. That will give us 91 altogether, including 5 upgrades and 2 that Robbie Walker and Clever Barton, who both went in straight in as legends. So congratulations to everybody on what they've achieved. Tonight, the inductees will add to the already outstanding list of high achieving Ovens and Murray people who have been inducted over the last 19 years. In the Hall of Fame, it's just, for those people going in, I believe, is an exciting thing. It's a great achievement in what they've managed to do. I have the privilege of being chairman of this current committee, thanks Mr Malavi for leaving after 2 years. I reckon you ought to come back. Anyway. Current chairman of the Hall of Fame and the committee, which consists of the following great Ovens and Murray people. Former Wangaratta Rovers star and the man with every stat in the history of M&M, Kevin Hill. Passionate football man and media guru, David Johnston. Long-serving league chairman and Myrtleford superstar, Greg Claney. The Tiger Godfather, Ross Reed. Premiership coach in 2013 inductee, Peter Tossell. Another Premiership coach and great Bulldog enforcer, 2017 inductee is Bob Craig. And this year we had a Billy Salmon after serving for something like 18 years on the committee, and he's never got over Emmy DeFazio getting 5 best and fairest ahead of him. But we've got a new member on our committee, and she's a force to be reckoned with. Our new member of the committee this year is Kimmy Odoin. Thank you, Kimmy, who has made her presence already felt with the skill set she brings to us. Outstanding knowledge of the league, and in particular, netball. Just don't ask them for a phone number, you'll be in a heap of trouble. The amount of work that these people have done, not only this year, but for the many years previous, deserves acknowledgement, please. I would also like to thank the following people for their efforts in bringing tonight together. Kano, fantastic job. Michael Bouquet with him from O&M House, who have both been outstanding in pulling this event together. Attention to detail has been fantastic, so well done, boys. From a committee point of view, their support has been fantastic. Our Hall of Fame historian, John House, is the bloodhound who's always chasing information and does a fantastic job. Rob Lacey from Rob Lacey Photography, if you smile tonight he'll snap you. Darren Red from Grid Media, who's been doing this right through. Stephen King for the use of his voice on the videos. Ross Schultz from Albury Light and Sound, Sound and Lighting. Nicky from Creative Framing in Wodonga. Our Master of Ceremonies, Graham Patterson. After debuting last year, he was so good, we brought him back. And we've got him back for one more year, just in case somebody gets cross and wants to keep talking here. And I'm sure you'll have it under control, Pato. The SSNA Club for the use of their venue tonight and for their continued support of our league. Thanks to Chairman Eddie, CEO Jared and the board for their continued support. It's much appreciated and needed. Thank you, gentlemen. And to Chairman David Sinclair, Jamie, who spoke earlier, Delegate Des Lonergan, and the sometimes invisible board for the Others of Murray for their continued support. Thank you, gents. I would like to acknowledge all those people, please. Football and netball players, coaches, umpires, administrators, office bearers and media representatives are all eligible for induction into the Hall of Fame. However, a player will only be eligible for induction if that player is retired from all levels of football for a minimum of 36 months. The netballer must have retired from the other end for 36 months, not necessarily all grades because they want to play for their 80 in other competitions. The selection criteria also states that number of games played or coached, umpired or years of service provided is only a consideration and not a determination in assessing the candidate's ability. The committee may also consider a candidate's individual record, ability, integrity, sportsmanship and character. Inclusion in the Others of Murray Hall of Fame represents a tribute to all inductees in recognising the outstanding service and overall contribution they have made to the SSNA Others of Murray Football League throughout its 130 years. While sports of Australian rules football and netball are team sports, tonight we honour individuals who can, along with their family, friends, teammates, look back on a life blessed with achievement, maybe because of talent, maybe because of effort, but often because of loyalty, commitment and the love of the team. And it's right that we do acknowledge individuals because the outstanding achievements of these individuals to a team goal is to be celebrated by us all who have been involved in teams. Because we take great pride in our champions, we take great pride in our achievers, but they're acknowledged as they represent the team they are involved with. They are part of us and therefore we share in your success. Well done. In my view, the Hall of Fame is an outstanding vehicle to allow for a permanent reminder of achievements past and a celebration of fantastic Others of Murray people recognising their great character, dedication and skill. A time to sit back and remember in doing so, be enriched and inspired by great achievement. For as long as the Others of Murray continues, there will be men and women who come forward like we honour tonight, and future generations we will continue to look back and marvel at their contributions they have made. Certainly, as I look around the room tonight, with a few candidates we'll be discussing names in the few, not too distant future by the quality and calibre of the people here and what they've produced over the years. We're in a great spot to go for a few more years ahead. Unfortunately, in the past 12 months we lost a great Others of Murray football who has been included in the Hall of Fame, Mr. Neil Curly Hanlon from Benalla, and it's fantastic to see Benalla representatives back here tonight, particularly Emmy. We don't start the show until Emmy's here. It's great for you people here. Also, inaugural inductee Jim Sanders' wife, in 2009 inductee Dennis' mother, Shirley passed away within the past 12 months. So commiserations and our thoughts are with you, Jim and Dennis. Great to see you along here tonight, along with Dash and Gerald Spencer and Freddie Longmire, representing in a corridor connection, which is very important to us over the years. Thank you so much for your continued support of the tradition, which is the Ovens Murray Football Hall of Fame. Hope you have a fantastic night. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. Just before we have a short break for dinner, on behalf of the League, I just wanted to publicly recognise the efforts of a young local netballer. From Wodonga Raiders, young Mia Lavis has been selected for the Australian netball side, and in the next couple of weeks we'll be competing in the Commonwealth Youth Games in Trinidad and Tobago, and I just think that's an outstanding effort. So please put your hands together for our local netballer, Mia Lavis. We'll now have a short break and then we'll come back with the first of our inductions. Thank you.